Mathilde, ma belle, comment allez-vous?
Oh, Henri, you again.
Travellers, welcome to Milan. But this isn't just any old Milan. This is Stendhal's Milan. In this podcast, we'll discover the city through the eyes of a special visitor, the writer Marie-Henri Belle, better known as Stendhal. For him, this city was a second home. He first arrived with Napoleon's army and returned to live here after the emperor's defeat, between 1814 and 1821. Who could be a better guide as we explore the city as it used to be, how it is now, and how it has evolved through time? So, let's don on our Empire-style tailcoats and take in a little romantic spirit. Off we go! In this episode, we'll head towards the Duomo in the company of an exceptional guest, a courageous Milanese woman, one of the earliest supporters of Lombardy's patriotic movement. Let's turn the clock back to 1818. What's happening in Milan? The city has just undergone a difficult transition. Napoleon Bonaparte's star has now set. Under the French emperor, Milan had become the capital of the Kingdom of Italy and now faces the nightmare of the Habsburgs' return. After the Congress of Vienna, held in November 1814 to restore Europe's political order, following the upheaval caused by Napoleon, the Austrians regained control over their territories in Lombardy. Milan is in turmoil. The seeds of the dream of an Italian kingdom had been firmly planted, and calls for liberty resonate louder every day, fueled by the underground activities of the patriots. And Stendhal? What's he doing? He will tell us himself in a moment. For now, he seems rather restless, pacing back and forth in a small square in central Milan.
Greetings, mes amis. How the city has changed since I first breathed its air. What exhilarating years they were under the august Napoleon. I always admired him deeply. But when I returned in 1814, I distinctly felt a heavy shadow hanging over the city. Although it has not been sufficient to dampen the spirit of my fellow Milanese citizens, who have always been lovers of beauty and masters in the art of enjoying life. Today, conspiracies and intrigues are suspected everywhere. The Austrian authorities grow more mistrustful by the day. I cannot say more in case I compromise myself. But please, don't distract me further. I am anxiously awaiting the appearance of a lady. Her name is music to my ears. Metilde Viscontini, one of the rarest beings on this earth.
Stendhal has been waiting for hours in Piazza Belgioioso, a peaceful corner of Milan just north of the Duomo, not far from Piazza San Babila, a spot that has remained remarkably unchanged to this day. The small square is overlooked by Palazzo Belgioioso, a masterpiece of neoclassical architecture designed in the late 18th century by Giuseppe Piermarini, the architect responsible for the Teatro alla Scala. Opposite, next to Alessandra Manzoni's terracotta-decorated residence, stands Palazzo Pozzi Besana, with its colonnade inspired by ancient architecture. This noble house is the residence of Metilde Viscontini. Ah, someone seems finally to be coming out.
Mathilde, ma belle, comment allez-vous?
Oh, Henri, you again.
Ma chère, you look as exquisite as a Madonna painted by Leonardo. Where are you going this morning? Might I have the honor of accompanying you?
I'm on my way to the Duomo to meet Bianca, my dear cousin. You know her, don't you?
Yes, I know Madame Milesi. Come now, as we say in Milan, andem alla dom. Let's head to the Duomo.
If you're wondering about Matilde's appearance, contemporary chronicles describe her as a beautiful woman of delicate bearing, gentle manners, highly cultured and sophisticated, always refined and elegant. In 1818, she is 28 years old.
Since Henri neglected to introduce me, let me do it myself. I was born into a respectable upper-middle-class Milanese family. You may already know that at 17 I made the unfortunate mistake of marrying the Napoleonic officer Jan Dembowski. Though he gave me 2 wonderful children, he was a violent man. At that time, I was so young and inexperienced that for years I accepted his blows. But one day, I finally decided I'd had enough. I legally obtained a divorce and went to live on my own. After all, why shouldn't a woman make her way in life by her own efforts? I was recently introduced to Monsieur Stendhal. He's fallen hopelessly in love with me. But how could I possibly return his feelings? He's certainly a cultured and worldly gentleman, but his pursuit is constant and suffocating. While I can still tolerate the daily letters and gifts, I find his persistence increasingly difficult to bear.
Stendhal and Metilde continue their walk towards the Duomo in the direction of Piazza San Babila.
You are very quiet, my dear. Is something troubling you?
Strange you should ask. You know perfectly well that my whole life is a constant source of worry. For myself, for my children's future, and for our beloved Italy.
Perhaps I shouldn't have asked. Please, lower your voice. You'll be overheard.
For those of you listening, Stendhal knows very well how deeply I long to see our country finally free and united. I've devoted all my energies to this endeavour, carefully and discreetly building a network of relationships with those who support our common cause.
Indeed, Metilde was closely connected to the Carbonari, a secret liberal and anti-Austrian organisation. Though she doesn't know it yet, her political activities will lead her to be repeatedly searched and finally arrested in 1821. The Austrian authorities will interrogate her for hours, but eventually give up, defeated by the strength and courage of this remarkable woman. Just a few years later, in 1825, Metilde's life would come to a premature end due to an illness at the age of only 35.
Come now, Metilde. Let's take the Corsia dei Servi.
It was walking along this street that I first became aware of how captivating Milanese ladies are. Ah, these are real women. Initially proud and inscrutable, they reveal themselves to be lively and free-spirited, but never in bad taste.
While our friend Stendhal is momentarily distracted, we shall carry on down this street. Corsia dei Servi, which after Italy's unification would be renamed Corso Vittorio Emanuele II. It took its original name from the ancient 14th century church of Santa Maria de' Servi, demolished in 1847 to make room for the church of San Carlo al Corso, still standing today. Then, as today, this was one of the city's busiest and most lively streets, lined with old houses, the ground floors of which were occupied by bustling shops and artisanal workshops. In the 19th century, the street was renovated and widened. Those modest homes and workshops were replaced by grander buildings, extending Milan's refined city centre ever further outward.
Look, my dear, here's the real coup de théâtre. Just ahead, the majestic form of the Duomo. Look at those enormous windows in the apse, the oldest part of the cathedral. There are so many statues, it feels as though all of paradise has come together among these marble walls. Admire the forest of spires, tapering gracefully to touch the sky. Above them all, she reigns supreme, the tallest spire, crowned by the famous Madonnina.
Yes, you've praised it 1,000 times before, but where is Bianca? I can't see her.
I will never tire of admiring the endless variety of the Duomo. In my travel diaries, I've recorded each time I pause to gaze at it, at all hours of the day and even the night. Can you imagine the hues of the marble as the sun sinks below the horizon? Or at night? Milan doesn't just have one Duomo. It has a different one for every hour of the day. And besides, it reminds me of Napoleon. It was here he was crowned King of Italy on the 26th of May, 1805. a ceremony unlike any seen before or since.
Although the Duomo was begun under Gian Galeazzo Visconti in 1386, its construction continued for centuries. The facade was only just completed by the architect Giuseppe Zanoia in time to be ready for Bonaparte's coronation. Just imagine, this cathedral's iconic face of statues and marble slabs, that seemed to tourists and Milanese to have always been there, did not exist before that moment. Before Napoleon, the facade was still largely made up of simple stones and red bricks.
Ah, I finally see Bianca. Free at last. My dear cousin. Well, Henri, I'm in good hands now.
Thank you for your company, Mathilde. With your permission, I'll continue my stroll. Who knows where else this remarkable city might lead me today?
And there he goes, already on his way. We'll pause for now, but we will await you in the next episode of our podcast. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again in Milan, a couple of centuries back in time. You've been listening to Milan and Stendhal, a double portrait, a podcast created by Artglass and Biblioteca Sormani. The podcast was produced by Artglass as part of the project Archivi, la Milano che non conoscevi in realtà aumentata, co-funded by resources from the European Union, the Italian government, and the Lombardy region, in accordance with Regulation EU 2021/1060, Articles 46, 47, 50, and Annex 9. Script writing, voiceover, music, and post-production by Ears. Special thanks to Regione Lombardia and the Milan Public Libraries Network.
Iniziativa realizzata con il contributo del programma FESR, Fondo Europeo di Sviluppo Regionale di Regione Lombardia.